In a deeply divided America, one leader rose by choosing unity over division. Andy Beshear, a governor who turned crisis into connection, politics into people, and leadership into trust. From courtroom battles to natural disasters, his journey is not just about power, it's about purpose. Stay with us to discover the full story behind one of the most unexpected political figures of modern America. Andrew Graham Beshear, widely known as Andy Beshear, was born on November 29, 1977, in Louisville, Kentucky, into a family deeply rooted in public service and political life, a foundation that would shape his worldview, values, and eventual path toward leadership. As the son of Steve Beshear, who would later serve as the governor of Kentucky, Andy grew up in an environment where discussions of law, governance, and civic responsibility were part of daily life. Yet despite this exposure, his journey into politics was not immediate or inevitable, but rather developed over time through education, professional experiences, and a growing sense of duty toward public service. Raised primarily in Lexington, Kentucky, Andy attended Henry Clay High School, where he displayed both academic diligence and a balanced interest in extracurricular activities, characteristics that would later define his methodical and pragmatic approach to governance. And after graduating, he pursued higher education at Vanderbilt University, earning a degree in political science and anthropology, disciplines that allowed him to better understand both institutional systems and human behavior, an intellectual combination that would prove critical in his later career, particularly during moments requiring empathy and strategic decision-making. His academic journey continued at the University of Virginia School of Law, where he refined his legal expertise and developed a deep understanding of constitutional principles, regulatory frameworks, and the complexities of American law, graduating with a Juris Doctor and stepping into the professional world with both confidence and a clear sense of purpose. Andy began his legal career in Washington, D.C., working at a prestigious law firm where he gained experience in high-level litigation and regulatory matters, exposure that not only sharpened his analytical skills, but also provided him with insight into the broader national legal landscape. However, despite the opportunities available in the nation's capital, he felt a strong pull back to his home state of Kentucky, a decision that reflected both personal commitment and a desire to contribute directly to the community that had shaped him, and upon returning, he joined a private law practice, focusing on complex litigation and representing clients in cases that often intersected with public policy. An experience that deepened his understanding of the challenges faced by individuals and institutions alike. His transition into public office came in 2015 when he ran for and was elected as the Attorney General of Kentucky, a role in which he quickly established himself as a proactive and independent legal authority, unafraid to challenge decisions he believed were contrary to the law or harmful to the people of Kentucky, including high-profile legal battles involving pension reforms and healthcare policies, which positioned him as both a defender of legal integrity and a figure willing to stand against powerful interests, regardless of political alignment. And it was during this time that his reputation as a steady, principled leader began to solidify. In 2019, Andy Beshear launched his campaign for governor of Kentucky, entering a highly competitive and politically charged race against incumbent Republican Governor Matt Bevin. And despite the state's strong conservative leaning, Beshear focused his campaign on issues that transcended party lines, such as healthcare access, education funding, economic development, and restoring a sense of civility and respect in government, a message that resonated with a broad coalition of voters seeking stability and pragmatic leadership. And in a closely contested election, he emerged victorious, marking a significant political upset and signaling a shift in voter priorities within the state. However, his tenure as governor began under extraordinary circumstances, as shortly after taking office in December 2019, the world was confronted with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, a crisis that would test leaders across the globe and define Beshear's approach to governance. And from the earliest days of the pandemic, he adopted a communication style that emphasized transparency, empathy, and consistency, holding daily briefings to inform citizens about the evolving situation, public health guidelines, and government actions, a practice that earned him widespread recognition for clarity and compassion, particularly his habit of reading the names of Kentuckians who had lost their lives to the virus. a gesture that humanized the crisis and reinforced the gravity of the situation. His administration implemented a range of measures aimed at controlling the spread of the virus, including business restrictions, mask mandates, and vaccination campaigns, decisions that were sometimes met with political opposition but were grounded in public health data and expert recommendations, reflecting his willingness to prioritize safety over popularity. And despite challenges, his leadership during the pandemic significantly elevated his national profile, with many viewing him as a model for crisis management. Beyond the pandemic, Beshear's tenure has been marked by efforts to strengthen Kentucky's economy, attract new industries, and invest in infrastructure, including significant advancements in manufacturing, renewable energy projects, and job creation initiatives, while also addressing long-standing issues such as pension stability and education funding, demonstrating a balanced approach that combines fiscal responsibility with social investment. His leadership was further tested by natural disasters, including devastating tornadoes and flooding that impacted communities across Kentucky, and in these moments, he once again emphasized compassion and unity, working closely with federal agencies, local governments, and community organizations to coordinate relief efforts, rebuild affected areas, and provide support to those in need, reinforcing his image as a hands-on leader deeply connected to the people he serves. Personally, Andy Beshear is known for his grounded demeanor, strong family values, and commitment to faith, often speaking about the importance of humility, service, and integrity in both his personal and professional life. And alongside his wife, Brittany Beshear, and their 2 children, he maintains a life that reflects both public responsibility and private devotion, balancing the demands of leadership with the priorities of family. As his career continues to evolve, Andy Beshear stands as a unique figure in contemporary American politics, a Democrat succeeding in a predominantly Republican state by focusing on unity, practical solutions, and a message that prioritizes people over partisanship. And his journey illustrates not only the impact of effective leadership during times of crisis, but also the enduring importance of empathy, resilience, and a commitment to public service in shaping the future of governance. And as the political landscape continues to shift, his story remains a compelling example of how leadership rooted in authenticity